So Matt, this was your first time doing an episode with us, and we already got a really fucking funny story. So listen, guys, I come in to the studio,
Yeah.
and Saba and Chris and Matt are all sitting in the same room, and I'm walking by, and Matt notices me and goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And I look at Saba and Chris, and I'm like, "You guys know that's Matt
I
sitting
didn't know
right
that was
behind
Matt.
you, right?"
I had only heard his
I'm
voice
a quiet
at this
person.
point.
I'm an observer. I don't just jump in the room and be like, "Hey, I'm Matt Fowler. I'm here to do a podcast."
Yeah, but we were there for a
guys."
while, and then like Chris came in, and then me and Chris were just like chatting about life, and then so it's nice to meet you, Matt.
Yeah,
It was
I
a
was
great
gonna
episode.
introduce myself, but then I was just like, "You know what? I'll
That
just
was
wait."
that was fucking hilarious,
little
man. I
awkward
was
there.
like, how long were you there?
It was like when I got here, like 22, 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so a while.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Like more than half an hour?
No, not more than half of that. A little bit less.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there he is sitting right behind them looking at notes, like the notes that we made in our Slack group. He's looking at our
I'm
notes.
the noob.
Oh,
I
was
gotta-
he
I gotta make
actually?
sure.
Yeah.
I did notice you had notes. I was like, oh, he's probably doing some homework.
I don't go to
Great.
school anymore.
Great story. Anyways, guys, we got a great episode coming up for you. It is the finale to The Mandalorian. So hit the music.
Meanwhile, back on the podcast, 4 colossal nerds named Saba, Chris, Christina, and Frank have set out to take on a great darkness that has enveloped the world of fandom. With their powers of common sense and the strength to take on even the most butthurt Twitter mobs and insufferable comment section trolls. They fight for truth, objectivity, and nuance in the conversation and debate over fictional made-up shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Meanwhile, back on the podcast. I'm Frank McGuire.
I'm Saba Mir.
I'm Chris Ibana.
I'm Matt Fowler.
Thanks, guys, for joining us for another episode. You think you guys just heard a new name that you haven't heard before, and that's actually one of our newer co-hosts, Matt. What's going on, Matt?
Welcome, Matt.
Everything's,
Welcome.
Everything's great. I'm excited to get this thing started.
Cool,
really,
man.
Really liking The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau actually like writing the script before someone came up to him and was like, "Hey, do you want to do a project?" So he's like, shows how where we have to go from there.
Yep. Yep. Cool, man. So, what made you want to join the show? What was it about us, or was like, I don't know, was there something that stood out that you wanted to be a part of, or?
To be honest, like all I do is just read geek culture.
Okay.
So I'd like need somewhere to get my geek on.
Okay.
And I feel like I saw your Kijiji ad, and I was watching Clone Wars at the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like this just fits.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good that you found us, man. It's really hard to find like-minded, geeks and nerds, especially ones that, don't have a hard on for Twitter and don't want to get on there and just complain and, bitch and moan and,
Someone who actually has thoughts,
yeah,
and
someone
ideas.
actually has thoughts and ideas and can articulate them, right? And, isn't going to call somebody a name just because they disagree with them, right? So it's good, man. It's good. We're happy to have you here. So welcome aboard. So, guys, how's it going?
Good. This is it. Last Mando.
Last Mando.
I know.
Last
Best
Mando
for last.
episode.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
actually good that you joined us now because we're going to do a series wrap up and you can just give us your thoughts on the whole series, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
perfect. Like I really enjoyed that they had Taika directing this one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Taika's a great
Such a good
director. So this episode gets off to an interesting start. It picks up right where we left off in episode 7, after the stormtroopers have basically turned poor Kuiil into bacon, and they're racing down the desert, through the desert. I guess it's a desert. It's a
The
desert,
desert.
right?
Desert
The
Planet.
desert.
100%
Yeah, it's a desert. So they're racing through the desert on their speeders, and they're trying to get to the package, which has been dropped. And we see them speeding along. They pick it up and they start chugging along. They stop for they stop on the outskirts of the town
Waiting
to check
for
in
orders, yeah.
to check in with their battalion, their group, whatever. And they're waiting for orders.
And let me tell you, I do not like their treatment of a child in this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, like you can be like, it's a little annoying, whatever, yell at it. They legit punch
it
him
hard,
like
yeah.
so many times.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And the
bro,
funny part
that's
is
so
like
mean.
the banter between these two made you kind of like them, and then they
Yeah.
beat the shit out of
and
Baby
then it's
Yoda.
like,
Yeah.
oh, you beat children. Okay.
It was Jason Sudeikis that was the one beating the
Oh.
Yoda, and he got so many death threats on Twitter because of it.
Really?
I think that's what happens
You
when
know
you
what?
like hurt cute
I
things.
agree with them.
Dude,
Jeez.
but it's a fictional it's a
Obviously,
fictional word. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people who are actually levying death
Yeah.
threats
Yeah.
against an actor because of something that he did in a scene,
I'll
right?
have to read them to see
Like-
how many of them are in jest and how many of them are actually serious.
Can I just say, like, there's a funny beat in that scene where they're like shooting, and obviously they're
Yeah.
playing the joke of missing the thing.
Yeah.
I kind of think that was a little much. Like, I get it. Like make the joke about the shitty. Like, first of all, these are scout troopers, which
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
supposed to be the
Low.
sharpshooters.
Yeah.
And like, if the first guy missed and the second guy hit it, that would have been one thing. But like them like playing up this joke so much, it's
From
just,
the distance too. From
yeah.
that distance.
I felt
too.
like that was
Yeah.
a little much,
I feel-
and
Yeah.
a little too self-aware, just a little bit.
I
you
feel
know?
it was kind of like improv, and they were kind of just riffing off each other
Yeah.
because they kept going into about like how Moff Gideon kept
Killing people? Yeah.
like when they were
That
trying to
was
give
funny.
him orders.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny.
It felt like a very Taika move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
just
man.
like he just killed an entire battalion.
So
It's
so the
fucking-
junior trooper, he definitely comes across as a junior. Like he's definitely answering to the other guy played
Mhm.
by Sudeikis.
The
He
precious-
wants to take a peek in the bag. He wants to see the prize, right? And Sudeikis, like you guys were saying, keeps basically reminding him that, like, you know, this is for Grand Moff Gideon. I'm not gonna fuck around with
Yeah.
Grand Moff Gideon
Yeah.
because that dude's gonna like barbecue me or whatever, right? So, and then as they're, you know, messing about, one of them decides to reach into the bag, gets bit by Baby Yoda.
That's
And
funny.
then we see two metal legs kind of walk up
Mm.
from outside the frame, and it's IG-11.
Yeah. Who keeps
Oh, they
calling,
just own them.
Yeah.
He just owns both of them.
And
Yeah.
he's calling himself like a nurse droid.
Yeah.
And they're like, how are you a nurse droid?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
is- what?
Yeah, and he's like, and they were like, "Stop, identify yourself," blah 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 blah. He's like, "I'm a nurse droid." Da, 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 da. And
He's a great nanny, honestly.
yeah. So these scout troopers draw down on IG-11, and they're confused because they're like, "I thought these guys were hunters." And IG-11 basically disarms them within seconds, smashes one of their faces in, and then throws the other one, I think, against his speeder bike or something.
Mhm.
And then he picks up Baby Yoda, jumps on the speeder, and he's gone. He takes off. He
Mhm.
sticks his finger in the ignition switch or something,
Mhm.
and they're off. They're off like a
And
flash.
then opening credits.
And then
Yeah,
opening credits.
I wish I
yeah.
was a robot in Star Wars. It seems so cool.
It'd be pretty
Depends
dope,
on the
dude.
robot. I do not
Yeah, I
want to be
guess
stuck
I-
as C-3PO.
A battle like a bounty droid, like
Yeah.
IG-11 would be sick.
I
Yeah.
want to be a vulture droid. You know, those like ships that are like
Yeah,
droids
that's
too. Those are cool.
I want to be an R2 unit.
Really?
I would totally be an
Mechanic
R2
droid?
unit. No, like, but you get to go up on the, up
Oh,
on the
dude,
ships.
that's
and
pretty
you-
sweet.
Dude,
actually,
commando
like,
droids, actually.
chilling on
Commando
top
droids are
of
pretty
them.
dope.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They were pretty good. They had swords and they had guns. Yeah, they were pretty cool, actually. Good call.
And they were better than any stormtrooper.
They were. They fucked up
Everybody's like,
everybody.
clone troopers are better than stormtroopers. I mean,
Yeah.
and better than machines, and stormtroopers are better than them.
Mhm.
None of you are
Yeah.
better than the commando
No.
droids. Let's
Yeah.
be
No.
honest.
No, and the clones were great. Like, you can't say that the clones
I
weren't
feel
good.
like the clones had more character and individuality than actual stormtroopers.
Oh,
do.
for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Weirdly, though, eh?
Yeah, ironically.
Very ironically. Yeah. So, meantime, while all this is going down with the stormtroopers, Mando, Cara Dune, and Grandma and Karga are held up in that like little bar, the cantina, wherever they went to meet the client. The client got shot, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. So they're trying to. They're Grand Moff Gideon's outside. He's just landed his TIE fighter, right? He
Awesome
landed
TIE
in
fighter.
7,
Yeah,
right?
he's a
Yeah.
cool one.
Yeah, he landed in 7, and we saw this fucking TIE fighter. It's so dope. It has these like these angular wings
Yeah, it
that
closes up.
that can kind of come in, and he lands, joins his troops, and he basically starts talking to them. And then
He knows who they are as well.
yeah,
He knows who every single one of them is. Like,
Yeah.
he calls like Grief Karga like a disgraced magistrate,
yeah,
and like can name the Mandalorian
Yeah.
by name.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
finally get his name.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Because what's happened is Gideon has decided to get an E-web, and the E-web is something that apparently Cara Dune is very familiar with, as a shock trooper. So he says to he says to all of them, he's like, our troops are now setting up an E-web heavy repeating blaster, and if you don't know what that is, you may want to talk to your friend Caracynthia Dune from Alderaan.
Yeah, and
She's
then we
more than
Yeah.
familiar.
find out
with
where
it.
she's from
Alderaan.
now.
Yeah,
That's
from
cool.
Alderaan. Yeah, we find out she's from Alderaan,
And that's why
which
she
is
hates
great.
the Empire
Cool.
so much.
That's
It
why she
justifies
hates
like
them. Yep.
her hate,
So
which is
much,
like
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Because at episode 7, I was finding it hard to believe how much she hated them, and then here's your justification, and it worked really well.
And it's
Yeah.
it kind of made sense because she liked the fighting about it, but the politics didn't get her. For her, it was this pure kind of hate thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, anyways, his name was finally revealed.
Oh,
yeah. Din
Din.
Djarin.
Yeah.
Din
Din. I don't
Djarin.
think that's really original at all.
You don't think so?
Well, they
'Cause
just came up
Django-
with Finn.
No, and also like it's from
Oh.
Django, right? Like it's still the sort of
Yeah.
the same thing as like
Well,
the
think so?
original Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Not Unchained, the
Yeah.
original Django.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I like it. I like the it's very cultural. Like if we were drawing parallels to like the original like donor of the Mandalorian outfit, there you go. It's right there, right?
Yeah.
You can draw a parallel. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, I think Kara says to the Mandalorian, try and raise Kuiil on the radio again, and Mando tries, doesn't get him. So they kind of don't know what happened yet.
So there's a part here I just didn't like because inside the cantina they were like, "Oh crap! Like they have us by the balls.
Yeah.
Like if they give us an ultimatum, we have no choice but to go out. So we're in trouble." And then Grand Moff Gideon is just like, "I'll give you till sundown."
I hate that.
Give
Yeah,
him 10
that-
seconds. Why
Yeah.
sundown?
I know the whole sundown thing
So
was so
dumb.
weird to me.
It's like
I was
have a meal, go to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
washroom.
like go and plan your escape. You
Yeah.
have until sun. Why? Like you have them. They have
I
no
know,
choice.
like, why would you give a Mandalorian who's
That
obviously
was-
very intelligent
Yeah.
and can fight, like a
resourceful.
shock trooper, and then like Grief Karga who's just sneaky as fuck,
and lives here, knows
Yeah.
knows this place inside out.
and then
right?
be like, I'm gonna give you like a few hours.
yeah,
that was weird.
That was dumb.
I can understand at this point because I think at this point, do you think Moff would have known that they did not have Yoda or baby the
Right.
child anymore?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. On the
They did, but like he had no motivation to give them any choice because it was come out or I'll kill you, right? Or
Well, there
or
was that
storm you.
conversation that he had with them because Grief Karga asks them like, "How can I know that I can trust you?" Right, and he's like, "You don't know that, but I know that I will act in
Oh,
my best interest."
Oh, he does actually know. To your question, he does definitely know because he knew on 7, like episode 7, because he shot
Oh.
in there, right? I don't even know what motivation he has to keep them alive, even because as far as he knows, like he has Baby Yoda,
Right.
Like IG-11 in his head didn't take Baby
Yeah,
Yoda.
he does.
so-
Yeah, he's not aware that IG-11 has Baby Yoda
yeah.
yet.
So
That's
it's just,
for sure.
It's just like I guess tying up loose ends. So I don't know. It
Maybe.
was just a weird thing for
Maybe
me.
he's just
But-
nice. He
but-
maybe just want to go for a quick stroll.
But maybe, like, it certainly looks like they're playing Grand Moff's incompetence as a plot device, right?
Mm.
Like,
Or-
it's
or
a plot device.
the
Like,
classic, I'll just turn him because he's really valuable and good at stuff.
Maybe.
for who?
For Mando, like Moff, like 'cause
Oh.
they have history.
Oh.
That's why he knows him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I feel like there's
like
a
he might have a
history
use
between
for
them.
him. That's why
Yeah,
he's leaving him
exactly.
alive. That's not
That
a
could
bad
be,
idea.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea if he didn't.
He is a
shoot up-
mercenary.
if he didn't shoot up the cantina without any regard for anyone in there, right? Like that kind of doesn't fit either because in episode
Right.
7 he shoots the shit out of the cantina,
Right.
like, and them just surviving is just plot armor at that point.
Right.
So it's like he really had no way of knowing if he was. I mean, I guess you can say Beskar or whatever.
The other question I had about this scene though is, so Moff knew all their names and he knew Mando's real name. The weird thing is he's like, because he was on this registry of people who had survived
Yep.
from this planet, and that's how he knew. So I
Well, he
guess
was saying he was a foundling. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
like he says he's a foundling, and he was found by the Mandalorians. And I don't know if did you pick up on the colors of the Mandalorian
Watch.
Wars? Death Watch.
Mhm.
They're all
Yeah,
Death
Death
saw,
Watch.
saw the symbol and
Yeah.
everything.
No, yeah, the symbol you saw that in episode 3, it was Death Watch.
There's
yeah.
a Death Watch symbol in episode
Yeah,
3?
yeah.
I didn't
Oh.
notice that.
He
Good call.
like his
See?
pulpit or whatever it is,
Yeah.
his shoulder thing.
Okay.
It had the symbol.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, they flash back to Din's childhood, and his planet's being attacked by the Separatist forces, the droid army. There's like B2 droid there's B2 battle droids. There's what are the aerial ones? The circular ones? Do you know what they're called?
Don't remember.
I don't
It's
remember
not
what they're
vulture
called
droids,
either.
right?
No, it's not. No, it's definitely not a vulture droid.
Circular
It's something
ones?
else. Yeah, it had it had more of like a UFO kind of thing to it, but then it has like a face that hangs off of it, like out of the bottom. I don't know. There's a couple of those.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So they're like the droid army is basically laying waste to Mando's childhood home. His parents are grabbing him up. They're carrying him. We see them running, running for their lives. Yeah. So laser blasts are falling at their feet as they're trying to get their son to somewhere safe, and they end up finding like a little bunker. They drop him in there, and then eventually we see these doors open, and there's a B2 battle droid about to smoke the little young Din Djarin. And from behind, he gets shot by one of the Death Watch members, and they're all over the place. They've got jetpacks, they've got lasers.
So awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty amazing scene actually. And then we flash back to the present, and Din is telling everybody that Moff Gideon knows him because he was an ISB agent in Mandalore. And he's seen the records. He's seen the records of the foundlings, and that's how he knows his name.
Okay.
So earlier on, Mando was scanning for some way to get out because they're kind of backed into a corner. They really don't have a lot of options. So he suggested that they can get down in the sewers and find the covert, the Mandalorian covert,
Mhm.
and the Mandalorian covert will help them out. So he's used his scanners on his helmet. By the way, this guy has like everything. Like
Not quite everything.
Mandalorians
yet.
are basically like
Yeah.
James
That's
Bonds.
one key thing.
Mandalorians are basically like James
Yeah.
Bonds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do
Like
have a
they're
lot of
all like
gadgets.
James Bonds.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like Inspector Gadget and James Bond, like, with like steroids. Like that's basically what Mandalorians are. So he scans, he finds this grate, and then after this flashback scene, they've got the idea in their head that they should try and go down in the sewer. So Cara Dune picks up her LMG style blaster
yeah.
and tries to basically blast her way in, but it doesn't quite
I'm glad
work.
it didn't work.
Yeah.
Don't they do that in the first Star Wars?
Mm.
Can't just make it like
Also,
every great
Mm.
blastable.
There you go. Good point.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
and when they
Good
like
point.
hear it, like I would say, like if you heard that commotion from the outside, as like
It's like rush in.
like yeah, what's going on? And
Yeah.
everyone's just like
Yeah.
standing there.
Yeah,
like,
nobody did.
Yeah, I hear shooting,
Yeah,
but the
nobody
shooting's
did.
not coming towards us.
So
Yeah,
what's
nobody
going?
did.
Like,
Yeah.
that's very suspicious.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel.
that's a good observation. Because honestly, I think that's why I got a little frustrated at that part. I'm like, what's going on the outside that nobody's reacting
Yeah,
to
they're
this?
giving a lot of leeway.
doesn't make any
I still love
sense.
this episode, but
Yeah.
I'm saying they give a lot of leeway
Yeah,
in these.
Yeah.
things.
And honestly, like I want to take a second. Like besides his like the shortcomings of how the character was written, like Giancarlo Esposito was amazing.
He's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
so good.
He's
Breaking
great.
Bad.
He's great.
Like he
terrifying.
could stand there and
Yeah.
just stare at them,
He's
and
great.
he's so scary.
Yeah.
he
No.
does that so well.
No, like he's like, even with Gus Fring, he's got this quiet, reserved, like
He owns the room.
just
Every room he's in,
menacedness.
he owns
like
it.
he's just
Yeah,
he's just
yeah.
a menace, dude.
Don't
like
know what he's gonna do.
you don't know what he's gonna
capable
fucking
of.
do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's great. Really, really great. And super well casted. And
Mm.
like I love the fact that they went like above and beyond as far as his costume goes too.
Yeah.
Like not only did they make him a Moff, but they made him a TIE fighter pilot and they gave him a fucking cape.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Mm.
it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, the cape it looks real cool.
He definitely
rocks
carried
it.
his character.
Yeah.
Like and not the writing of his character. I have to be honest,
Yeah.
or at least like the motivations of his character. Anyways,
Yeah. So at this point, we cut back to IG-11 and he's riding into town.
Oh, sick sequence.
And he's on the he's on the speeder, and Baby Yoda's got this huge smile on his face.
I know he's at the time
if
of
he
his
thought
life.
if
Great
he thought
shot.
he couldn't get cuter,
Great
Yeah.
shot.
stick his head
Like,
out the window
great
of a car.
You know
Great
what
I
I mean?
want one so bad.
They need a sidecar for him, like a little sidecar.
A sidecar would be great for
Yeah.
Baby Yoda. Great for Baby Yoda. That'd be awesome. So IG comes in riding into town, and as soon as he hits like the first guard post, draws blasters and just takes everybody out.
Mhm.
And like with incredible accuracy and moving at insane speeds too.
Mhm.
Like this IG-11 unit is just fucking unbelievable
Mhm.
in terms of effectiveness. So he takes out everybody, and it definitely it calls back to a lot of the Western stuff that we've seen, where the guy comes riding into town,
Yeah.
two guns blazing, kind of flipping under his horse, shooting under his horse, that kind of crazy shit. That's kind of like the vibe I got from it.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
There's even a point where Baby Yoda's in the line of fire, and he spins his torso around
Oh yeah.
to protect Baby Yoda, and then he puts his
Yeah.
arms backwards,
Yeah.
and like just amazing sequence, just an amazing action shot, or
Yeah.
an amazing action sequence. Sorry.
I like how the IG units were designed. You can tell they're just like killing machines. Like
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
angle, it's available. They can see 360. Unlike the remember the Federation droids? They have like such like limited movement.
Yeah.
With their arms,
Yeah.
they just like they can fold up, but then that's about
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah.
think it was like a cost thing. They probably
Oh,
it was
yeah.
so cheap because they had to make so many of them.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, the IG units.
No,
No,
the,
no,
the other
the
ones,
Federation
the
Oh,
Federation
ones.
Yeah.
sorry.
I love those guys though. They'll
Sorry.
always have a place in my heart.
Yeah. So obviously IG-11 has caused a huge distraction on the flank of this, like out in the center of town, and is drawing attention. He's drawing the attention of the stormtroopers, the death troopers. Oh, by the way, there's a squadron of death
Oh,
troopers
yeah.
Yeah.
out front. Like these
It's
guys look
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and I've liked their look ever since Rogue One. So really cool to see those guys. They're
And
drawing. Go
Flame
ahead.
trooper as well, right?
Sorry,
There was
There's a
one.
flame trooper.
Not yet.
Flame trooper.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
not
It's
yet.
coming up.
Well, anyways,
Not
there
yet.
is
He's
one in
coming
this
up.
episode.
So they draw the attention of the Empire's forces. Gideon's turned around. Everybody's turned around. And as Cara Dune and Mandalorian figure out what's going on the outside, they're like, "Let's go. Let's do
Mhm.
this. Cover me." Cara Dune jumps up on the bar, up on the bar to get kind of like a good angle out the window, and she just fucking lays waste to all those
Yeah.
stormtroopers. Gone.
By the way, did you guys notice in the flashback sequence, one of the Mandalorians had Boba Fett's original gun?
No.
The
Oh
one with
yeah.
The short,
Oh.
the
Yeah,
stock
yeah.
and the short
Yep,
barrel. Like,
I did
oh,
notice that.
I was like, oh, awesome.
I did notice that.
My
I was
bro-
wondering if that was a callback to Boba Fett or whether that was actually a Death Watch weapon.
I'm sure it
I
was.
don't know.
Yeah.
He has full equipment. He doesn't just have the armor, right? He's got
Right.
flamethrowers, he's got everything.
Right.
So
Sorry,
like,
Sabi,
yeah.
yours.
I was like, my brother legit was like, "That's Boba Fett." I was like, "It's not Boba Fett." And he's like, "No, I think it is." I was like, "I know you think it is, but it's not."
He's dead.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's not. He is alive at that point. But
Yeah, he's,
Yeah.
alive.
It's probably not
But
him.
I don't
this
think it's
time.
him.
We've had a lot of callbacks to the Death Watch in the last like couple weeks,
Mhm.
given the Duel of the Fate script too.
Mhm.
Can't
that
wait
had
to talk
Death
about
Watch
that.
in it? I
part.
didn't read that
Oh
part.
well, there's
There's
a
a part. There's a part.
There's
there's
a
a part.
There's
There's a part.
a Mjolnir Captain America moment.
Yeah.
that- we'll talk about it
Yeah.
in the next episode.
You're gonna have to tune in for that one, folks. We're not gonna spoil it here. Okay, cool. So yeah, so everybody like Cara Dune's on the bar, just wasting everybody. Mando basically goes out the door, like guns
Classic.
blazing. Does some hand-to-hand combat with the Death Troopers, and then he picks up the E-Web repeater from like the barrel and like the end of it, and it looks fucking heavy. Like it looks insanely heavy. And he just spins around and just takes out as many people as he can. And then Grand Moff Gideon can't fuck with this dude, draws his little blaster pistol
Mm.
and shoots the power source on the E-Web, causing this insane
Which
explosion.
is so smart, like 007,
Yeah.
Super
shooting the
smart.
barrels,
Yeah.
shooting the barrels
Super
first.
smart.
Mm.
Super smart, right? Kara sees that Mando's down. She rushes out, grabs him, pulls him back into this bunker / bar, whatever the hell you want to call it. And then IG manages to get in. The stormtroopers are ordered to burn the heroes out of this bunker by Grand Moff Gideon. IG's working on breaking into the sewer, and then a stormtrooper walks in. What's called an Inferno Trooper, actually, apparently.
Oh.
An Inferno Trooper walks in with this huge ass flamethrower,
Turns you
huge
famous.
flamethrower. He turns you famous, apparently. This huge ass flamethrower, and then as he's starting to spark up his first shot, Baby Yoda just like reaches out with both hands, and you can see it from about like the shot's really well composed because you can see it. You can see his head rise up, kind of like on the bottom edge of the frame, and then you see his hands come out, and he basically creates like a force bubble
Mhm.
around this trooper and contains the flame. And then you catch it at the end, right? He flicks his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
He flicks his wrist
Yeah.
and sends the flame back against the trooper.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about that specifically.
Yeah.
Because we've made the comments before that Baby Yoda's too young to really understand what he's doing with his power set, but we've just seen him use his powers to effectively kill somebody.
And in like
not as in a defense, like not as like a sense of survival.
Not in an instinctive way
yes,
either.
Exactly.
It's a calculated way.
Yes,
like
exactly.
he flicked. So it's weird.
Isn't
it's
it?
weird, man. I don't know.
Okay, so like,
but
Saba, how do you feel
resigned
about
to
that?
I don't know, because I'm like, this is interesting because as of now, like, yeah, he has really exhibited a lot of power when it comes to using the Force, but he doesn't use it often. It's like he knows he can use it, but he doesn't know when to use it, because there's a part later in the episode where Grief Karga tries to get him to use it again.
Yeah.
So it's strange because it is very childlike, I feel, though, to just kind of do things like that randomly and not knowing that you're doing it. And that's like the only way I could kind of justify it, because he is a child.
Sure.
But he is very strong.
I've seen babies in Clone Wars like juggle things with their minds and stuff
That's
like that.
true.
Like,
no. But the argument for that is babies would normally do that with their hands.
That's
so,
true.
So that extending to the Force. So
but
the
babies
thing is,
can't juggle. I can't even juggle.
no, but they would play with blocks, right?
But the Force sensitive kids in Clone Wars, they wouldn't juggle. They would like use their to like their
like
telekinetic Force powers to like do shit.
Before this episode, an argument could have been made that I still would have challenged, that it's all instinct for Baby Yoda, and he's got the Force powers, but he's not trained. This move does not, like, that argument cannot help this move, because this move is him like consciously doing things and not back against the wall and instincts like taking over.
Right.
This was like
I agree
a
with
conscious
that.
decision.
But do you
Yeah,
think his
I
instinct
agree
But
with
he didn't
that.
know he was
protect-
gonna pass out from it, though. it
Yeah.
seemed like.
Do you
True.
think his instinct is just to protect like Mando or Din?
Yeah,
like I
I
think
think
that's it.
so.
Because like at one point he used it against Kara, right? And
Yeah.
I think like it's
Chokes
like
her.
this,
Yeah, chokes
exactly,
her,
which
yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
So the fact that like I think he has this like attachment to him.
He
too.
definitely has an attachment. Like I think that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But you see him go beyond his survival instincts by killing this trooper, right? Like he could have contained
Holding the
flame.
Holding the fire is fine, right? Flicking it after is like, that's a little, well, whatever. It's we already know that Disney has a different view of the Force than it's previously been established. So
it could be a
Maybe he
survival
has the
thing
evil
for him.
gene. He was born
You know
with
what?
the evil.
You know what? It could be a survival thing. And
Because
let me
the guy's
go
gonna,
ahead.
he's gonna keep attacking him.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't do it right away.
Yeah.
He holds and then that guy keeps going.
Yeah.
And then the only really thing to do is they're like, okay, well I'm gonna flick it back at you.
Yeah.
So in a sense it could be like a survival thing. I
It-
will say he's quite stacked.
No, it could have been for sure, because I started thinking about it, and he passes out every time he uses his powers,
Like a
right?
little baby.
So maybe he find it like maybe he felt himself kind of like fading, and he's just like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
I need to save everybody
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
And then I just flicked my hand if you can't see him on a podcast. So maybe that was like the lead up to it. I don't know, but
I think it was a good decision for Taika to like take him out after that point and kind of just like have him rest for the rest of the episode. And have,
Put
like,
him on
everyone else
cooldown.
come in,
Yeah.
so that you don't have to use that again. Or,
Yeah.
or I thought like when Mando was hurt, I thought he was gonna heal him again.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind
I
of like
thought
this
I
is
was
better.
on that vibe too.
yeah,
That he was gonna heal him again.
Yeah.
huh?
That's a good way to write away from like
Well,
your
that's
cure-all.
smarter, yeah.
yeah,
Compared
for
to
sure.
Rise, where they're just like foreshadow. Here it is again.
Yeah.
And here it is again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, all right.
that movie that movie doesn't deserve to be called Rise. Rise is a good thing.
Okay. Well, let's keep going.
All right,
Sorry.
Well, they
Rise.
they overuse Rise. They have Rise of
Yeah.
Kylo Ren right now
Yeah.
on comics.
Yeah,
But anyways, like I like how it actually shows you like the tactics of Grand Moff Gideon. So even before this, when they start doing their final push to the outside,
yeah,
you can see the tactics that like Gideon would employ, because as soon as they left, he sends Dark Troopers in the back,
yeah,
and blows the
Yeah.
back, and it's like you gain ground, I'll take your background away from you.
Yeah.
And it was this really cool moment where he corners them, and like even their final push was kind of like nulled. So everybody gets stuck back there, so they had to pull back in,
yeah,
and then also because of Gideon, because he shoots the thing. So now like the corner that they thought they had just got smaller,
Right.
Because now there's an open freaking door back there.
right,
So
right.
yeah, and their biggest gun is down, right?
right. So at this point, after Baby Yoda's taken out the Inferno Trooper, IG's managed to cut the grill away. But Mando's down. He's literally lying against like a broken table, and He doesn't look like he's gonna get out of this, and he's
Wait a
kind of
minute.
talking to Kara.
What about his vibroblade? Don't you think that could have cut the
The grate. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I guess.
Because
I guess.
yeah,
we'll
but
say he lost it in,
Yeah,
in
okay.
episode
That's-
episode 6. I got you, Mando. I got your back. He
that's
lost
probably
it in episode 6.
that's probably the best defense. Because like they do use vibroblades to fight lightsaber combatants, so that does make a lot of sense. If you can fight a lightsaber, I think you can cut through a metal grate.
Mhm.
So
Well, he
yeah,
seemed like limited by then because when he goes back to the armory, he like stacks up when we're going in.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say he threw it
I
at,
wish-
that girl. What's the Twi'lek girl? I forgot her name already.
Oh, yeah.
Jean.
Jean, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just doesn't get it back. We'll see.
Yeah.
I got your back, Mando.
So, okay. So then, so IG manages to cut through the grate. Mando's down. Kara and Mando are kind of like, Mando's kind of softly telling her, like, I'm not going to make it. Like, take Baby Yoda and get out of here and get down to the covert. They'll help you, blah, 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 blah. And Kara's like, not having it, dude. Kara's not. Okay. I want to ask you guys, does Cara Dune have romantic feelings for the Mandalorian?
No.
No.
You don't
I
think
don't
so?
Like
You've
like
never seen his face.
like a fallen soldier. No, sorry, like a soldier.
like mentality.
Yeah, like
It's a foxhole thing?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
they have camaraderie. Like she cares about him, but
Yeah.
it's more of like a brotherhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Because they
wanna-
had an episode where they could have played that up and they didn't because he had another
Yeah.
Right.
love interest, and I
right.
think that's cemented as them being like partners.
Right.
Which
okay.
I like.
And,
Yeah,
me
it's
too, me
better
too.
that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to posit that question.
Oh yeah, for sure.
By the way, we
Good
haven't
question.
talked about Karga and his skill set. Like
Mm.
when he goes out that door to cover the Mandalorian, 2 pistols and like hitting everybody.
Yeah.
Like he's supposed to be
He's a
this disgraced magistrate,
Yeah.
I
but
wonder
it's
what
good.
got him disgraced.
probably shooting people.
Yeah. That he
Maybe.
probably did like shady stuff like he's
Probably.
doing now.
Yeah, I
Probably.
like him a lot.
But he was really, really impressive in this. I think he was
I think it makes sense for his line of business he's in now though.
yeah,
Because he probably gets himself into some sticky situations.
he was a sharpshooter, man.
Yeah.
You know what I would have loved to see? The pistol twirl.
Mm.
I haven't seen a pistol twirl, and we're doing an homage to like old westerns,
Yeah.
and nobody's done a pistol twirl
Yeah,
yet.
no one has the balls, I guess. Cause
No, it goes straight into their holster.
yeah,
Just-
No, I know, but somebody's got to do a pistol twirl.
I know. I've
Like-
only ever seen one in Star Wars history, which was the Old Republic trailer, and the smuggler there does it, but like I don't think. Oh no, obviously Jango Fett.
Yeah.
But, like-
oh yeah, Jango Fett. Yeah. Jango Fett.
I
did
love
one.
that scene. I think it's too obvious in a way. Like it's already like a huge Western thing. If they do that,
It's
I think-
gratuitous.
Yeah, it's
It's
gratuitous.
gimmicky.
Yeah,
but it's fun.
but they should do it.
Yeah,
I think
it's
Mando
fun.
should do it.
Yeah, I think Mando
Or
should do it
Grief.
too.
Grief Carrier could fucking.
Grief Card
Pull that
could
off.
do him, probably.
Does Mando have a trigger guard on his gun?
Yeah, he
though?
does, he
He has a
does.
trigger guard. Okay.
I love that pistol. It's so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's minimalist and
Yeah.
awesome.
It's pretty dope. Okay, so Amando's telling everybody to jump down to the sewers to leave him, and then as Kara is about to leave, she leans over to the IG unit and she says, "You make sure you bring him with you." And then he promises. He promises, and I guess a promise from a droid is like, I don't see him going against it. It's programming.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, because he's a
Um,
nurse droid now. He has
yeah.
to help him.
Nurse, right.
yeah, and so he goes over to Mando, and he's basically saying, "I need to remove your helmet if I'm going to save you." And Mando's like, "Try it," and he pulls out his gun, and then he's like, "I haven't nobody's seen my face since I took the creed,
No
or no living thing
yeah.
has seen my face since I took the creed." And then IG says, "I'm not a living thing."
Yeah.
And then he eventually lets him remove his helmet. And I thought I noticed like a sound effect, like a noise, like a psst or
Yeah,
something
that's
like
what I thought,
that.
too.
Yeah.
Kind of similar
Like
to
a Darth Vader.
yeah, kind of similar to that. Oh, and we glanced over one small thing. Like I think it was in like Act 1. They're talking about the nature, or the how would you say it? Like they were talking about how the Mandalorian isn't a like a people.
It's a creed, yeah.
It's a creed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara said that. I
Yeah,
remember,
she said
Well, because
that,
if you
yeah.
think about it, like
It's not a race. It's a creed.
Boba
That's-
Yeah,
Fett's
yeah,
not
it's
really
not a race, it's a
Mandalorian,
creed,
he's
yeah.
clone,
Yeah.
like, and Din's not a
Good
it's
point.
like all of them.
Good point.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Isn't
did
Django
that-
not a Mandalorian either?
Yeah, he's
Either?
not.
He's
So
bounty
they're
hunter, where is it?
retroactively making Django and Boba Mandalorian.
Yeah,
That's
no,
exactly
yeah,
why they did that.
Yeah.
What a bunch of fuckers.
Well, no. But the Mandalorians were never really like if you watch Clone Wars and the old is it the Old Republic that I read this from? It's like the Mandalorians were from Coruscant originally, and then they went and conquered a whole bunch of places.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe not Coruscant, but they were on Coruscant at first, and then
I thought
they
Mandalore was their home
No,
planet.
Mandalore is their home
They
planet,
were a
and then they
species.
expand.
No. So they were originally a species, like an empire species, and then when they took over a bunch of planets, they started taking other civilizations. This is
And
actually
that's why the Jedi
here
step
before
in.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But all of those planets that they took over, they became
Yo,
Mandalorians
I guess,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
So they lost the whole
They're not
species
blood.
of them, yeah.
Since they
So
were,
it's been like that
like
for a
the-
while. I read that somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah.
Huh.
I
Okay.
didn't know that.
Okay. Well, all right.
I have 2 comments about this scene.
Shoot.
First comment is like for wearing a mask, the skin's like not that bad.
Yeah.
Actually, I was like expecting it to be much more like, you know what I mean?
And he's
And what a
groomed.
stash.
Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have.
Yeah, I was waiting for
His mustache.
I was waiting for his
Yeah, so the face-
Oberon. I was waiting for his Oberon look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oberyn.
Yeah.
But the other thing I thought was just like, how ridiculous is that you would just die because you cannot take your mask off?
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, and I get it, but then like,
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what's
but
gonna
he
happen?
wanted to.
You're gonna
but-
get kicked
but
out.
One of the other things we kind of glanced over because it wasn't like a huge moment, but he says to Cara Dune, he says, "Give me a warrior's death. Like let me
Yeah.
let me
Yeah.
fight off the rest of these guys. Will you guys get down to the
Yeah.
sewer, right?"
yeah.
Okay, so this
So-
is my biggest thing about this
I don't know.
episode.
Yeah.
So my biggest criticism about this episode is like this is obviously a very big moment with this face reveal,
Yeah.
and it was set up as this like grand final stand, and like him taking off this helmet, like and the only way he could take off this helmet was because he has there's nobody else around because he's buying time,
Right.
and then it's like this thing where it's like this could be his very last moments. And then he survives it anyways. And it's like, it was this really weird letdown. I mean, I'm happy he survived, but you set up this scene where it looked like he was finally going to show the audience, like, his face in exchange for his character's death. And then we don't get that anyways. I felt like it was anticlimactic, or it was just set up wrong. Like, you could have set it up in a different way where it wasn't this, like last stand feel to
Right.
it. And still showed us an epic moment with taking off his helmet.
Sure,
But
but
instead, it's just
sure, but like I think we gotta accept the fact that he's the lead of the show. They're not gonna kill him in the first season.
Well, I didn't want him to kill
Yeah,
him,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the moment was set up wrong then, right?
Okay.
Because they gave us this like I'm staying behind to sacrifice myself,
Right.
but really it's like I'll stay behind so I can show my face to the person that won't break my creed to show it to,
Right.
and then I'll join you guys in 2 seconds, right?
right.
it's
Right.
just, yeah.
Right. Matt, you're gonna say something?
Oh, I was just saying, like, they should have, like, emphasized more on, like, head injury, which IG made a joke of.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it felt like so...
Send your central processing
Yeah,
unit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it felt like there wasn't really a reason to take off his helmet.
Mm.
No, but I agree with you with that. I mean, there was kind of a point because, like, I guess, like, it didn't feel like the big reveal, and we haven't got to this point yet in the episode. Because something you said earlier, Chris, was that there's like no consequence to it,
Mm.
and like it was an inconsequential moment when you think about what ends up happening some of these characters in a few minutes from now.
Well, I do like that it's IG-11 that he shows his
Especially
face.
Yeah,
since
that
of
makes
his
sense.
feeling
Because it's a
against
droid,
Dwight.
Yeah.
and like an IG,
Yeah.
and then that droid, as he
Yeah.
says, right?
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
yeah, I think that moment could have been different, but better.
Can I share a thought that I had?
Mhm.
After I saw how quickly the IG-11 unit took out those 2 stormtroopers that had Baby Yoda, I thought to myself, I was like, remember in episode 1 when the Mandalorian shoots IG-11 in the
Mhm.
head? I almost feel like the Mandalorian let him get close enough to draw down on Baby Yoda so he could get the drop on him because he knew he was faster.
Yeah, maybe, or
Yeah.
or maybe blasters don't work that far or something like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a cool idea.
because like I just watch how quickly the IG unit moves, right? And the Mandalorian's good, but I don't think he's gonna go toe to toe with an IG unit that really knows, like,
Mm.
can like
one move ahead kind
yeah,
of thing.
like that was my thought process. I was like, did Mando let him get up to that crib and draw
Mhm.
down on it so he could get behind him, or get to the side of him where he could
For
actually
me, it felt like a weird like instinct when I saw it because it's like you hear it before you see it because you're like, oh, who got shot?
Yeah.
And then his gun is just there. It felt like an
Smoking, yeah.
instinctive kind of thing, but I don't know. Like he could. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Anyways, back to the episode. So, yeah, so the IG unit makes this joke about him. His central processor is damaged, and then Mandalorian's like, "What, my brain?" Like,
But I don't understand how it's just like, let's put some spray on him.
Yeah.
back to spray.
Yeah.
damn, like I
Bacta.
need some of that stuff.
Back
From
to-
Resident Evil, you just have that spray that cures everything.
It's Bacta. It's like the same stuff that they put Luke in the tank and like, you know, the Bacta
when he's
tanks,
in
right?
Hoth?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and Hoth, right? Like
True.
that's all Bacta, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the nature, like I haven't like yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd, but I haven't researched
You don't know
Bacta.
about Star Wars
Maybe
medicine?
that's why.
Damn, Frank.
I know.
Maybe that's like.
Damn. Amateur.
I fail. I fail.
Maybe that's why they need Baby Yoda. Maybe his race is like they just turn him into goo because he's the only one that can heal.
I think it's gonna come down to
mid.
midichlorians. I really do.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna have something to do with midichlorian. That's just me though, but I don't know. We'll see. So he eventually removes his helmet for him, and again there was just like this noise to it, and then he sprays his Bacta solution on his head. He puts the helmet back on him, and they eventually meet the group in the sewer, and like Mando's almost becoming more ambulatory. Like he's moving around a lot more now, and it's almost like the Bacta is like quick acting. I don't
They
know.
caught up to them in like
Yeah.
a few minutes. I was like, wow, these are slow walkers.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was he kind of looked like he was ready to go. Like he was like ready to do another fight. Like
Well, he looked a
that's what I
little
took.
fuzzy, like he was limping and
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah, I'd
falling
say
all over the place
fuzzy,
for, like,
but it was almost like
second.
someone rung his bell instead of like.
Well, that's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to apply.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
True.
So they get him down in the sewer. They all meet up, and then they head towards where the armorer is. Which is like I'm starting to equate the armorer with obviously like the priest figure, and then I think that place is a church of some kind.
Mhm.
That's the way I see it. I don't know how about you guys
Like
see
a
it,
temple.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's
It
very
does feel
like
like
it looks like
that.
the holiest of the holies.
It's like a place of
Yeah.
like worship in a sense.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's how it kind of strikes me. And she's there, and
Well, first you find like.
oh
the-
yeah, they find a bunch of bodies.
Yeah.
They find a bunch of Mandalorian
I was
bodies.
not expecting that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah,
It was
Well,
their armor
found
in
the
a
head
in a
hideout.
Yeah.
Yeah. the covert was all dead.
Yeah.
Now
Which
the
I don't
question
buy.
is,
Like, bring
Did
as
she
many
hide?
stormtroopers as you can. You're not.
is she what?
Did the armor hide?
That's the question I want to know.
And I don't think
Like-
that's against
like-
isn't that against Mandalorian code.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That is weird.
like what? Like how did all those people die and the armor lived? That's what I want to know.
Maybe she was there. at
You
the
know what
time.
I'm thinking?
Does she get a pass because she's a priest? Like, oh my god, they do that in westerns too,
She
don't
was in
they?
the washroom.
Oh yeah.
Don't they do
true.
that in westerns?
Yeah. Like they'll probably.
They'll show up to kill the entire town,
Right.
let the priest
But
live.
like they're not. They're empire. I don't think they give a
But
shit.
that's the thing I think about. It's like, so they were basically like Grief Karga said, because at first like Mando was like, "This is your doing" or whatever.
yeah.
And he's like, "No, like I don't."
Oh, he
really
blamed it
control-"
on the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the bounty hunters also came in, and then apparently there are survivors out there, but I
Yeah.
just was like, this many of them had died, and I guess.
Well, why would you go back though? That's the point. Like after you did all that,
Yeah, you.
Yeah, they
like
did
going
say they
back
had.
to the hideout would have been
Yeah,
stupid.
exactly. They did say in episode 3, like we're gonna have to move the covert, and they're like, okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
do that. It's this is the way,
This
right?
is the way.
So
Yeah.
so what I think the only plausible explanation, in my opinion, is like they didn't die there. They died on the streets. Like they.
Oh, and then armor
And
brought
then
And
the
then
them.
she
armor,
grabbed the
like,
armor.
grabbed them because like they're sacred
Oh.
artifacts, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Good call.
Or
Good call.
yeah, basically just grabbed all the equipment.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Good call.
Because Beskars, they're holy,
Mhm.
holy like metal, right?
That makes more sense.
Oh, and that's
'cause-
what she was melting it down.
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she could have gone out at night to recover it. And,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know, she wasn't necessarily
I mean,
hiding
she's
from
pretty shiny, though,
stormtroopers.
so like I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
you see that.
The other thing is
Yeah.
like send as many stormtroopers as you want. You're not taking down a covert of fucking
Mandos,
Mandalorians. Like
yeah.
one
Yeah.
Mandalorian fuck you guys up. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand
Take
how.
out like 6. no
Yeah,
problem.
these guys
Yeah.
are better armored than he was. I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever. It happened off screen, so who's to say?
So, okay, the name Mando, is it a term of?
for Mandalorians.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
what-
know
Is it
that, but
derogatory?
yeah, is it a derogatory? Because like the stormtroopers
feel
were
that.
using it, and yeah,
No,
I feel that.
maybe, but Grief Karga calls him that, and back when he had like a lot of respect for him,
sure.
or I guess he could still be doing it.
Sure.
Well, yeah,
Like I don't
Maybe.
know. It doesn't feel like it could be for some people. Like I feel like some people put like a different spin when they say it.
yeah,
I don't know if it's inherently derogatory, but I don't really know. I
mean-
know they don't like Wookiees. I know that, you know, they make fun of Wookiees a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about that.
I mean, I would be frustrated if someone didn't tell me their name. I'd just be like, all right, human, right? Like
You
You.
True. Yeah. So they go down into the sewer. They find this pile of armor. They find the armorer. The armor is melting down the Beskar, and they start talking. The armorer and the Mandalorian, and the Mandalorian's explaining to her that this is the child that I was hunting, and now the child that I was protecting, and then I think the armorer says something along the lines of, from what you've told me, that sounds like this race of space wizards, or isn't it something like that?
And then she goes on about the Jedi. Yeah.
Then she starts talking about the Jedi.
I love that.
It was so good.
I love that.
It was so good.
Just like myths and legends for
Yes.
them.
Yes.
It's so fucking amazing.
Yes.
Well, and that's
Yes.
what Ryan Johnson tried to do again.
Yes. And so did Colin Trevorrow. Exactly. Like that's
Yeah.
the feeling I got. Yeah. So
And it's also interesting to me that, because in my head I thought it's so widespread.
Yeah.
Like, how could you not know? But
Yeah.
it's still so much part of their.
That was a
their
generation
lore.
ago, right?
yeah,
it
because
would've
Luke's
been.
the only
Awesome.
one, right?
Yeah.
In this time period, Luke and Obi-Wan were the only ones, and then Obi-Wan dies, and then Luke is still out there somewhere, but nobody really knows
Yeah.
about
Luke is his interpretation of a Jedi.
yeah,
Hmm.
Luke,
Yeah.
yeah. So, sounds like you got some strong feelings about that.
Yeah, I was a little mad at later on when they showed us all the Clone Wars stuff. And
Oh,
then you're
okay.
like, so Luke barely had to do anything to become a Jedi in a way, compared to everyone else had to
compared. Oh,
train.
okay,
Oh,
okay,
hell
okay,
yeah.
okay,
compared to
okay.
Anakin,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
rest of the
yeah,
Jedi.
yeah. We'll definitely
That's
get
what
into
I'm
that.
saying.
We'll
Yeah,
definitely get into
for
that
sure.
another episode. I really want to talk about how the Clone Wars has kind of eclipsed
That-
everything for
That's been
me.
Yeah, that's been.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely changed.
Yeah, definitely changed. Yeah. So, they're talking about the Jedi, which is really exciting and really interesting to hear. But Mando is like, "Is this my enemy?" And she's like, "Well, not necessarily." Did she say not necessarily your enemy, or?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but it is interesting because they're coming up. Because that's it's weird because we're always sort of seen as Jedi being the good guys, and then we've been following this character, and then they view them as these people who are obviously not good. And she says, I think she says that he's not the enemy. It's or that he doesn't really have a choice because he has to do what he has to do, which is, if he
Return
doesn't
the foundling.
return the foundling.
Yeah, Return the
'Cause
Foundling.
He's too young to train.
Yeah.
So
the
she
Mandalorian.
basically she basically tells him, you need to return this foundling to its people.
That's part of our creed.
Yeah, as part of our creed. It can't defend itself, so you need to return it to its people.
And then they become a 2-clan.
Yeah, and she
Armor
gives
her
him
the Mudhorn.
the Mudhorn as
logo.
his as a sigil, his signet. Sorry, signet. So that's his signet.
They're taking their sweet time as well.
Yeah.
This is the thing I always get with not just the show, but in shows in general. We kind of in the third last episode where it's you got 20 minutes to escape this ship. And I'm like, I feel like you guys
had
are
more.
really taking your time going through this. Because for me, I'd be like, guys, we gotta go.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that this
Time
is all
isn't
real
a thing
nice
in
and-
Star Wars anymore.
yeah.
But there's a lot of
Sometimes it's
theatrics.
sped up, sometimes it's slowed down.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mando gets his signet, the Mudhorn, as Matt was saying, which is really cool. Because that's literally the first thing that Baby Yoda saved him from, and
Mhm.
apparently that's his signet now. So
Where they bonded.
that's where they
Yeah.
bonded over killing a Mudhorn. So the armorer says, "I can hear the Imperial troopers are starting to surround us. IG-11, go protect the whatever the pathway or whatever the tunnel. Yeah, that's it, a
And
tunnel.
he's just
It was a fucking tunnel.
Yeah.
And then
And then
he gets it.
he gets it.
He
Fine.
gets it.
Yeah.
Finally.
Whole
Yeah.
show,
The
you're waiting for
jetpack.
this.
Yeah.
Yes.
She says to the Mandalorian, she says, "Are you familiar with the
Phoenix Rising?
the Phoenix Rising? What is it? Did she say program or no? She didn't say program.
Training, I
Yeah.
think, isn't it? Like a
She was asking
training
if
or
the
a
person,
fighting
who
style?
had
Rising
him-
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Rising Phoenix?" He's like, "No, I've never had the opportunity to train in that." And she's like, "Well, you need to start doing it." And she passes him this fucking jetpack,
There you go.
and it's beautiful. And it's it looks like it was just made. To be honest, I don't know. Like was that your take? It looked like she just made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure,
I
she
was like,
just made
yeah,
it.
how much time do we have, girl?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy he got it though.
Well, yeah. You remember their technology from the third episode?
Yeah.
He just does a drill press, and then
Yeah,
it just
it just comes out.
it just comes
It's like
out.
3D prints.
Yeah, just 3D prints.
essentially.
So she tells him to arm up. And as he's walking around arming up, she says to him, it won't respond to you until you learn how to, like, until you do the training, until you learn how to control it. So I don't know whether it's like a bio interface with the armor, or
That would be awesome.
like, what is it? Because like
when you like leap.
yeah, when you
probably.
leap, but like he's also got the wrist gauntlet with the controls on it, which he starts it with, right?
Okay.
As well. So is it an electronic interface with his wrist gauntlet, or is it a bio thing? Because she says it won't learn, like you won't be able to control it. It won't listen to your commands until you have the training. So why wouldn't it listen to the commands if he's got like
Yeah, good question.
like a remote control? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe they'll
It sounds
answer
very
that later.
biofeedback to me.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
But
Me
anyways,
too. He doesn't have the
like-
rocket, right? He just has
No,
the
he- no, he
I
has
thought
no
he-
pack.
I thought he had the rocket.
Did he?
Yeah, like there was something in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think I saw a rocket,
Oh.
but like it was like maybe a peak, or like I don't know.
But I thought that peak is the rocket.
Maybe. Does it look like a rocket to you, Grace?
No, he had the holster for it, or like the chamber that it goes in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they gave him like any rockets.
Yeah.
So like stay tuned for that season 2.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So anyways, they make their way out of the tunnels, and then she stays behind and does an amazing fight scene.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. She's
Like-
got like her
Yeah.
tools. She only has her tools. She has a hammer and like tongs.
Yeah.
And the stormtroopers come in and they're like, they put a gun to her head and they're like, "Hey Mando, like get up. Like you're under arrest or whatever." And she just fucking takes all
Beats the
7
shit
of
out
them
of
down
them.
in
Yeah.
within seconds. And she's like shattering their masks and shit too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like you can literally see
That's Beskar they're getting
Yeah.
hit with, man.
just
Yeah,
insane,
it's shattered.
just
and shit.
insane. Like definitely one of the best action sequences we've had in this series, without a doubt. So good for sure. So the Mandalorian, Grief Karga, Cara Dune, Baby Yoda, and IG-11 make their way out to where the lava river meets the underground,
Mm-hmm.
and they get to like this ferryman boat, very very kind of reminiscent of old school type shit.
like Italy.
Like Italy.
Gondola?
Yeah, there you go.
It might as well be Venice.
But this one is piloted by a droid, by an R2 unit with
R2
legs,
unit.
apparently.
Yeah, I know that was
interesting.
freaking me out.
That was
Giant
cool, actually.
legs.
Yeah.
That was kind of
I
dope.
thought it was like all stone, and then it just got up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cara Dune shoots the boat free, and they all jump on board. And as they're coming down, they can kind of hear. Well, IG-11 can kind of pick up that the stormtroopers are kind of at the mouth of the river.
Do you think that means Blacksmith is dead?
No, hell no,
No.
no. She kicked the fuck
She'll
out
be
of
in- she'll be in
everybody.
So
season
they just
two.
walked
They'll run
around.
into
They
each
just
other.
found another way around her,
Yeah.
probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
They probably knew like
She's
that was
alive.
the only exit.
Yeah.
Like they probably have people stationed in a few places,
Yeah.
but they made it seem like those were like the last of the stormtroopers left as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
don't think there were a lot left,
No.
because there's ones at the mouth of the thing, like I'm reading at the mouth of the river. Then there's the ones still probably, well, all the ones dead in the square.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the ones that
Like IG
just
took out.
faced the armorer.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's that many. Like, oh, and then the ones all like IG-11 took like 20 of them on
Yeah,
the way into
Mhm.
town. So I think most of them are gone. Yeah. So there's stormtroopers waiting for them at the mouth of the river, and IG-11 can kind of pick them up. He can sense them, and then he basically tells Mandalorian tells the Mandalorian that he's going to use his auto destruct sequence to kind of take everybody out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Din's like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, he gets
Which makes
emotional
no
about
I
IG-11.
don't know.
I think
I
I
don't
get
know.
it. I get it for multiple reasons. So this is what my thing is. So not only did like IG kind of take care of Baby Yoda and all of that stuff,
Yeah.
but the fact that like IG saw his face, like like no one has saw his face.
Now
in
they got
so
this like
long.
But wouldn't he
intimate
be like,
connection.
Let him go.
yeah.
He knows my face. Let him
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, he could think that too.
Just I don't know what the creed says, but just in case, let
Yeah.
him die.
But it is like this weird thing, and I think it really brings this thing full circle in terms of his droidism.
Right.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah, we are calling it droidism.
Yeah.
For sure we are. Yeah.
And I think there's like a connection there too, and I think it's like the surprise of like this droid that is actually helping them through. Like he has
Yeah.
saved Baby Yoda this many times. He saved
Yeah.
himself. He
Mhm.
saw his face and was like, "I'm not a human. You don't have to worry about it."
Yeah.
And so you know what I mean? It's like we like form attachments. Like my nieces and nephew called their Roomba their little brother.
Right.
And it's a freaking Roomba. So like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? It's like I feel like it's this attachment he's forming.
Interesting. Okay. All right. No. I think that makes sense.
But like to despise droids so badly and just be like,
Yeah,
I get it though.
Yeah.
I get why he despises droids though. Like,
yeah, well, like
yeah.
the whole flashback scene.
Yeah, the
explains
flashback.
everything.
Yeah, that's.
And I guess it's like
good
this is
enough
like an
for me.
extreme version of it, but it's like, you know, people who, and this is my idea, people who tend to be racist probably don't know a lot about that other race. So when they maybe meet someone from there and actually like get to know them, they realize, oh, and I know this is a droid, it's not like a human
Well, it was
being.
reprogrammed though.
Yeah, it was reprogrammed and all that. So I don't know. I kind of got it there, but
Yeah.
So
So
I get both of your points. There's a little bit of a disconnect, right? Like how fast. I mean, we've seen this. We've seen it before in the show. Like how
Or
fast,
all
like
Star Wars.
people get like connected to other things. Like
Yeah.
how fast training montages go.
yeah.
So I guess like it's just another one of those things where it's like just take our word for it.
Yeah.
Like he develops a connection. Like just don't worry about it.
yeah.
That's kind of like
So-
what this season is.
So IG basically says that there's no way we can survive a gun battle. He's like, I'm gonna set my auto destruct thing, but you got to tell me that you're gonna take care of Baby Yoda. Like you're gonna take care of this child. He steps over the side of the boat, starts walking towards the stormtroopers, and then he's like, I cannot be captured. You hear him talk. He's obviously having it's inner
Yeah.
dialogue,
Mhm.
like computer talk. And he's like, okay, I'm setting my auto self-destruct. And the little thermal detonator comes out of his chest, just like we saw in episode 1. And boom, everybody's gone. Fucking vaporized
Right, yeah.
the entire...
I loved when he was walking through the lava because it reminded me of Dante's Peak when the old lady is like helping them in the boat.
Yeah,
She's like
yeah.
burning, like
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just reminded me
There's
of
an
that.
old lady that died in Dante's Peak, like in lava.
Yeah. Well, it's
Wow.
not lava. It's like the lava's like boiled the water to
Oh,
the
okay.
point where it's like burning her, and it
Okay.
just reminded me of that scene. Like
That's kind of
walking through
fucking
that.
crazy. That you would like do that to an old lady in a movie. That's kind of nuts. Yeah. So boom, like they're all gone. The boat hits the mouth of the river, and then in comes this fucking TIE fighter from overhead,
Yeah.
and it's Grand Moff Gideon, and he's got just cannons blasting as they're
Misses
going along.
the first time.
Misses
but he's
the first
not gonna
time.
miss the second.
This is the first time, and then Grief Karga is like, let's just get the baby to do the hand thing again.
I love that.
Let's just get the
so
baby to do the
much.
hand thing
Yeah.
again. Baby, come on, do the hand thing, do the hand
And
thing.
he does a little like wave.
Yeah.
Just
and
one
baby goes,
last cute
and
Baby Yoda
baby
moment.
goes like this. He's like that. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
So
all saw
good.
that, right?
Yeah, you guys
Oh,
all
Frank.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Very, very, very funny. A good break in the tension to get just almost to ramp it up right away afterwards. So he's coming back on his second pass, and I think it's Cara Dune, or I think it's Grief Karga. They're like, I'm out of ideas. Amando's like, I'm not. And he basically steps in,
That's what we thought.
and he's waiting for the right moment, and then he hits the fucking control on his arm, and he
Just
blasts
shoots,
off into
yeah.
this guy. And he gets right above Gideon, and then he lets him pass him, and then harpoons.
Ah,
That was
awesome.
so
Cool, right?
So awesome.
So cool.
That was like the sequence of the season.
So good,
Oh,
dude.
Yeah.
So good. He harpoons the wing of the TIE fighter, pulls himself onto the TIE fighter. First, he jumps on the canopy, tries to shoot his way in. No luck there. And then he falls over to the side of the wing. And then he tries to set a charge, but that one falls out of his hand and goes off into the back and blows up behind him. But then he gets another one right on the wing. And then you hear Grand Moff Gideon, oh no, or like something like along those lines. And then boom, fucking blows the wing off the side of the TIE fighter. And he's down like in the desert. And that's it. That's basically it. And then we cut back to
That sequence was so cool, especially when like Moff realized what was happening.
yeah.
Because he had that panic look.
Yeah.
That's the first time we kind of see him panicked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really got the hang of that real quick.
Yeah. And that's such a Mandalorian way to fight a TIE fighter
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Like you always see it like whenever like especially in Clone Wars or Rebels, the jetpacks are literally used against aerial vehicles.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're there, right?
So awesome.
They're way more versatile than a TIE fighter or an X-wing. And you know, you basically put like your arsenal into the air. So it's
and you're probably
it's pretty
super
cool.
hard to hit.
Oh,
You're like
without
such
a doubt.
small target, right?
Yeah, you're like a pea.
Yeah.
Right? You're like a pea, and if you have one of those rocket connections on your backpack, like you're literally probably one of the most dangerous things in the sky.
God
which is
damn,
really
that scene's
cool.
awesome.
So dope,
Mhm.
dude. So well done.
I love that when he was hanging from the harpoon, he like shoots again. Like he shoots his rocket, like his jetpack again to get
Yeah.
into the ship.
Yeah,
Ah, so awesome.
very cool.
Yeah, like you don't think of anything else when you watch like this sequence. It's just like in
Yeah.
the moment, like draws you in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel like we kind of missed somewhat with this season was like high tension
And
moments.
Star Wars
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
like it's the last like
Yeah.
there's a couple filler episodes that kind of took me out of the
Yeah.
feel of the show as well. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
we get it. It's the golden child
Yeah.
archetype, and then
Yeah.
they threw in like the prison break episode, and then the classic like
Yeah.
we're gonna help the villagers episode that they've already done in Clone
Oh man,
Wars.
that
Yeah.
villager episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the one on Tatooine. I'll be honest. We'll talk about it all at the end.
I thought
guess.
that one was
Yeah.
funny.
yeah.
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 Let's get through
yeah.
get through this episode. We'll kind of cap this off, and then we'll definitely talk about some season 2 stuff, and we'll talk about kind of an overview of season 1, and then yeah. So Mando basically does like a free fall from wherever he's kind of dropped, like after Grand Moff Gideon's kind of been taken out. But he manages to like engage his backpack as he's like falling, and then he kind of does this nice little soft kind of landing, his cape's fluttering and all that kind of shit. And he lands down, he starts talking to Karga and to Cara Dune. And Karga is already making the case to Mando that he needs to stay here on Murano, and they need to get back into the bounty hunter game apparently. And he's like, what about our friend here? Like she's great. Like let's, she's of great warrior stock. Let's make her a bounty hunter too. And then Kara says something about her chain code, and Karga's like, well, we can probably take care of that because I'm a disgraced magistrate and I probably
Yeah.
know a lot of crooked ass motherfuckers, and I can probably get you set up.
I think it's interesting that they two stay together in terms of like the relationships. 'cause
Yeah.
I would imagine like I feel like Cara and Mando would just jive.
Well, unless she's like a stay-at-home person, doesn't want to
Yeah.
travel all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's true.
Like it seems like
She
that's
does
why
keep
she's chilling
saying
at the
that.
bar all the time.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
it's
trying
true.
to set down roots somewhere.
Yeah, I thought in the beginning of this episode that like the characters, all of them except for Squeal, because he died.
Kuiil.
Kuiil, sorry, Squeal.
Yeah.
Kuiil. I thought that would be the crew of his ship, and then like the Razor Crest.
I thought so
like
too.
if they stuck together,
Yeah.
I thought that would.
But I'm
Ooh.
kind of over the whole crew where it's like,
Yeah, I guess.
what is it like? Two, like a fighter or a flyer,
Yeah.
and then a droid.
Rebels.
Yeah, and then there's
Yeah.
either
Yeah,
one
but-
or two Jedi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
we've never
that's
had like.
basically the
Yeah,
recipe
I
for
guess so.
Rebels. Yeah.
Like he's definitely like a loner type.
Yeah, he's the
But
man
like,
with
That's what I like about
I don't
it.
know,
Yeah,
like
he's
him
Eastwood.
and Cara Dune, I think would have been fun, and
He's
Grief
Eastwood.
Karga.
Yeah.
She'll
Would've
definitely
been fun together.
if there's season 2, she'll definitely be around. Also, I do love the scene where like Baby Yoda just goes up to him and like kind of hugs his leg. Kind
Who?
of thing. Baby Yoda goes up
Yeah.
to Mando
Oh yeah.
after he lands. Like I
Oh,
feel like
yeah,
Baby
yeah,
Yoda
yeah.
has like no concept of what's really going on.
Yeah.
Like he's just like,
Like,
wow,
that was a
look
fun
at
play
this.
date.
Yeah. So Mando basically says, "No, man, I'm not going to stay here. I got things to do. I'm going to take this little guy and I'm going to find his people." Basically, that's what he says. I'm obviously paraphrasing. And they jump back on the Razor Crest, and there's this cute little scene between Mando and Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda's got something in his mouth, and he reaches for it, and it's the skull. It's the Mandalorian like skull, basically. On the rope that Mandalorian had in the bunker, that he gave to Cara Dune to basically show the covert that they knew Din Djarin. Like that's what its use was. And then Grief Karga and Cara Dune walk off into the sunset as the Razor Crest leaves the planet.
But
And
there's
that's about it.
Well, there's that.
Oh
that
shit!
Oh, yeah.
Right.
missed
And
scene.
there is the other
I'm
thing.
Honestly,
kidding.
the best part, like I was
I'm
saying,
kidding.
Yeah.
the jetpack was, but
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
really
in the
I
got
beginning,
me
know.
in
going.
the
I thought-
beginning of the season, like I named a few things that needed to be in the season, and this was one of them. And
Yeah.
the jetpack. Was
Honestly,
one of them,
I wasn't
Yeah.
even thinking. I wasn't even thinking it would
Oh,
be
really?
in here for some reason.
Yeah.
So
Not the first season.
And I'm just like, man, Jawas are everywhere. I literally just thought they were on Tatooine.
So we go over to the crash site of Grand Moff Gideon's TIE fighter, and there's Jawas all over it, ready to salvage it and steal some shit. And then we just see this glowing red,
Black.
yeah, but the
Oh.
outside, but
He's too
Sorry,
excited.
I'm
He's
like,
too excited.
red.
that's all right.
And
This is
then
the cut through the ship.
Yeah. So go ahead, Chris. You take it.
the
This is your favorite
black
part.
saber.
The dark
The dark
saber.
The dark
Oh,
saber.
yeah.
I get it wrong all
The
the
dark
time.
saber.
That
The dark
scene,
saber.
though, where he's just standing on top of like
Yeah.
And then like his
So-
cape.
Yeah,
So Grand Moff Gideon has the dark saber.
of Mandalorian lore.
And then he cuts himself out. He's alive.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think happened there? How do you think he got it?
How do I think he got it?
Bo-Katan had it last.
Well, yeah, Bo-Katan had it last.
The purge, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Maul had it before her. And then, yeah, the purge probably happened, and he probably recovered it at some point.
No, she got it. Bo-Katan got it from Ren, from
Yeah,
Sabine.
yeah, in Rebels.
Yeah, yeah.
But Maul had it first.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because Ahsoka and Kanan took it from him. Yeah, Ahsoka and Kanan. I'm pretty sure that's right.
No,
And
I'm just glad to see it finally in like
and
real
it
life.
looks really nice. Like
Yeah.
it looks like it's true to the.
It looks dope.
It's
It
different.
really
animated,
looks dope.
yeah.
Yeah, it definitely
like, I
looks
like that
really
it
cool.
actually looks like a
Yeah.
katana.
Yeah, it looks like a sword.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It looks
No,
flat.
it doesn't look like, it doesn't have the traditional lightsaber aesthetic. It does look like a katana. I like that about it too. So yeah. So that's episode 8. Season's wrapped. That's about it. So let's season 1 overall, guys. Let's shoot the shit about that for a bit.
Started with a bang for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, right into
The
that-
introduction of Baby Yoda was
the
a bang.
Yeah, I really lost my
Okay.
shit. See episode 1.
Yeah.
And like the first 2 episodes, and I did like the Save the Villagers episode because I was like, I'm always down for a nice little village. But let me tell you, like honestly, like those middle episodes did kind of get to me.
Yeah, too
Yeah.
fillery.
Yeah, they kind of were. I wish the Tatooine one was more utilized. I felt like the fake Han Solo guy was not really like, I don't know. I wasn't.
No,
a big fan.
yeah, and nor was he like consequential to anything. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
that guy? No, that guy was fucking
yeah.
useless.
But then the ending, like these last 2 episodes,
Yeah.
were just
Last 3,
Oh.
I'd say.
yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and then the last 3.
Yeah.
Or definitely my
yeah,
favorite.
I'm with you guys on that. Like,
and I think that's why, like, the way they ended it, that Star Wars is looking at Taika to like take over something and maybe get his
Yeah.
own movie because of that.
That'd
And
be
yeah,
cool.
I think that's
finale
gonna
was still
happen.
good.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Taika is being looked at for a Star Wars film, so
there
I
was-
do hope that happens.
There was
happens.
enough like nostalgia in there with still new things,
yeah.
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
is
there
what
was.
I think
Like,
it needs.
I love the
Yeah.
practical effects. Like it's hard because you gotta like actually film it and like
Mhm.
do it on location. And Star Wars always has troubles on location. That's
Mm.
why George Lucas invented pretty much the green screen technology.
But
Mhm.
but they were definitely okay. My take is this: is they were definitely reliant on old tropes and old ideas and old notions from westerns and samurai movies, without a doubt.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
like you can see it throughout the entire production. Like there's really nothing there that's kind of too far out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think one of the greatest elements of Star Wars is the fact that it's kind of, it does have those, it does have a little bit of Western DNA in it,
Yep.
like the episodes in the Clone Wars with Cad Bane. Those
Oh,
are
yeah,
great.
Cad Bane's sweet.
Cad Bane's awesome. So I like it, but I need more risk taken in my Star Wars now.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like that just has to happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting tired of. I've said this a million times on pretty much every Star Wars podcast we've ever done, but these proxies of the Empire, the Resistance, the Rebellion, the First Order,
It's the
like,
formula.
that shit's gotta change.
Hollywood
It's
these
gotta
days,
change.
they just follow formulas when it comes to
Yeah.
like recreating something that's already
Yep.
a franchise.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
My
and that-
biggest. Oh, sorry, go.
No. Oh well, like that's what I was saying at the beginning, because like this series wasn't written like 2 years ago. Like
Mhm.
John Favreau started this like when he was young, like when he was in his 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he's had this in his back pocket, and he pitched it, and that's why it got created.
Mm.
Well,
So-
he also was a Mandalorian. Like he played Pre Vizsla in Clone Wars. He was the
oh
voice
yeah,
of Pre
he was the
Vizsla.
voice. Yeah.
So I think that had a lot to do with his authority on the subject, because apparently he was really deep into the Mandalorian culture and the lore and all that kind of stuff. Like anything that had anything to do with Mandalorians in the world of Star Wars, Jon Favreau was digesting it. He really liked it. So
Mhm.
I think that's why he wanted to kind of get into it.
My-
Yeah. So
My thing was with the season 2 coming up.
yeah.
The thing that I feel like with season 1 that I felt was missing more was more of the story of, okay, who is this child? How did he get
Yeah.
to where he is?
Yep.
Like, why is the Empire after him? Like, I can assume why the Empire is after him, but is there anyone else that is? And then there's this whole idea at the beginning, I thought that he was going to be on the run more
Yeah.
than he was. and I think that's what it was. I still really enjoyed this series, and I liked it a lot. Like I did like pretty much every episode, but that was something that I didn't really get, was kind of like that through line
Right.
Yeah.
of what the consequences of all this are. Because like in the end, the last 2 episodes we did end up getting that, which is, you know, the Empire really wants him, but there's still so much we just don't understand. And like, how did he come to be? And all
I
this
think
kind of
the
stuff.
Empire still has programs where they're like searching Force users and like
Oh, of
people who are
course.
gifted
Yeah.
Metachlorians.
Yeah.
to, like-
Inquisitorius.
yeah, Inquisitors. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for
So,
sure.
like-
So in terms of character development, I don't really feel like we got a ton.
Nope.
He likes droids now.
Sorry? Yeah, that's about it. That's
Yeah.
literally
Only
really
thing
the
that
only
changed about him.
change we've seen with Din Djarin, right?
Yeah.
Like that's about it. And he's willing to work with people now, but that kind of comes with just basic survival instincts, I
Yeah.
think, right? There's just a point where you get to where like being a loner, throughout
It's hard
this
to
is probably
survive.
not going to be the best way to survive this, right? So he needs to have allies, he needs to have partners. I almost feel like the most interesting development was Grief Karga. How crazy is that?
You're
Yeah.
right. He probably did actually.
Like he's probably the
IG-11
one that came the
changed
farthest.
the most if,
Oh,
you,
yeah,
if you really
IG-11.
think about
But
it.
that's programming,
I
dude.
know.
That's programming. We can't.
Yeah,
really...
but he's treated like a character.
yeah,
Like even his programming, like he deviated from his program. Oh, don't hurt people anymore. How many people did you kill in that last episode?
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we didn't get much of character development. So like next season, I'm really hoping for some cool character arcs. I want to see, somebody kind of dealing with some real consequence, some real challenge, and really kind of flush somebody out, because like I don't really think character development was not this show's strength, right?
No.
I think this show's strength was obviously a lot of callbacks to some of the things that we all love. Like they were relying on that, and that's okay, and they did a good job with it. And the stories were interesting, and the action sequences were fantastic. What about the cast? What do you guys think of the cast?
I thought they were good. Cara Dune got better near the end. Like,
Cara Dune got better.
Like I wasn't too impressed with their performance in the first time we see her, but this
Yeah.
time, like I
The
think
funny
she's
thing
really
is,
good.
I hate Nick Nolte, but I loved him in this.
Yeah, he was great as Kuiil.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was
Like
great as
Kuiil
Kuiil.
cracked me up.
Yeah.
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 It's pretty funny.
For me, Moff Gideon was probably like the best actor.
Oh,
out of them all.
Giancarlo Esposito was a standout
Yeah.
for
the
sure.
client too.
Oh, yeah.
I was really scared of it. Not scared, but
Werner-
like,
Oh, Werner
his
Herzog,
voice.
yeah.
He was
Werner
cool.
Herzog,
The
man.
way he's at
yeah.
Parsec was
Yeah.
just so good.
Yeah.
I love his voice.
Yeah.
It's so
And
awesome.
that, and when he was episode 7, and they're trying to tell the baby was sleeping, he's like, "We'll try not to wake the baby.
We'll be
Mm.
quiet.
Yeah. We'll be quiet."
One thing I wish
That was so
they
good.
never gave like the Mandalorian actor like who he was. So when they took off the helmet, you'd be like, "Oh, it's this
it's
guy."
all right,
Like,
yeah.
but I guess it's hard to
So,
keep
like-
that wrapped
Yeah.
nowadays.
No, and they
Yeah.
kind of used it in marketing as well. It's like, oh,
'Cause
this guy, it's what's his name again?
His name is.
Uh-oh.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah,
Pedro
Wow.
Pascal.
You forgot Pedro Pascal. Wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, like they did use him like in the marketing where
Yeah.
it's like Pedro Pascal's playing him, and that's kind of why a lot of us hated. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but why a lot of us hated the fact that he couldn't take off his helmet.
Yeah.
It's because like you gave us Pedro Pascal, but did you really? Because like
We don't know.
No, it's not
him.
even. It's
We
probably
don't
not
know.
him.
Yeah,
It's
it's
probably
not-
just his voice, like
Yeah.
modulated.
Well, you heard on the episode where we talked about that Esquire, or was it Esquire article? It was something along those lines. It's one of the bigger
Yeah, but
Like
he
media
was
Bryce
outlets.
barely-
yeah.
Yeah.
The Bryce Dallas Howard one.
Yeah. So Bryce Dallas Howard basically told one of the magazines, like one of the bigger magazines, that when she went to work on her episode, she didn't even see Pedro Pascal on set,
Mm-hmm.
right? And apparently it's John Wayne's grandson in the suit most of the time.
Yeah.
So
So like, does,
what's the question? Did Pedro Pascal come back for this one episode?
Maybe.
probably?
That's what I want to
could see
know.
that.
This-
'cause
That's
this
what I
is
want to
about it.
know.
You have to
This
pay
is-
to have a star on set, so they're only gonna
Yeah.
put him on set when they show
I
his
agree with
face.
that. I totally agree with
Exactly.
that.
So you think he was
It
Like,
was
how
never
off
him
at all? That can't be true.
But-
I know he did some voice stuff.
Yeah,
over
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
his
voice
voice.
is
Oh, it's his
yeah,
voice.
yeah. They
It's
can
just
do
like-
ADR
Or Reese is
anywhere,
going
though,
into
right?
a booth and just doing
Yeah.
this.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, like Earl Jones Jr. It wasn't his face, right? When he
Right.
played Darth Vader, like
Right.
why would it be? Darth
Right.
Vader was played by like 5 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, why would you hire Earl Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Which you'd have to pay a premium for?
Yeah.
To be underneath Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to slash a couple $100,000 out of your budget.
Mm.
Is like,
Well, because they always want to show the face, and that's
Yeah.
the problem with comic book hero stuff. Is
Yeah.
that, like they're supposed to be in their outfit pretty much the whole thing, but
Mhm.
Hollywood's like, no, we paid for the face. You
Yeah.
have to see it.
Yeah.
okay. All right, listen. I'm a Star Wars fan, like without a doubt, but I got to pick this apart a little bit.
Mhm.
Do you guys think that they did the whole helmet Creed thing to save themselves some money in the production?
I thought he
I think
thought.
so.
I think that he thought it was a cool idea, like some cool enigmatic character that never takes off his. I
Because-
think he thinks it was a good idea.
Yeah, because that doesn't make sense to me for
And I think
saving
he was
marketing.
wrong.
Because like they probably have a huge budget. They're Star Wars. They're
Yeah.
not some like indie.
Sure,
flick or
but it's
they
something.
only the
always
first
wanna save
yeah,
money
but it's only the
somewhere.
first
That's
season
true,
of the
that is
show
true.
too, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's only the first season of
So
the
do
show.
you think that in season 2
He'll be
there'll
taking
come a
off his
point-
helmet more.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
don't think so.
The
They,
thing is, like,
they can't now.
It's
He can't. They can't return to
Like,
season
will he
2.
leave the Mandalorian life and then go back to that village and then marry that lady?
So then, what's the point of
I
even
don't
having
know.
him
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
for the rest of the series if he's never going to take off his
see.
helmet?
I actually thought that like he would break the creed. Like I thought that was his final like
Yeah.
character development thing. Is that like he'll show it somewhere sometime.
Yeah.
To
When
someone.
did this creed come about, though?
Exactly, dude.
yeah, I don't.
Nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody posted something online that's kind of interesting, and it says basically this: like Mando was part of this sect of Mandalorians called the Tribe,
Mm.
and the Tribe were the ones that agreed not to remove their helmets.
It's not all Mandalorians.
Not all Mandalorians, but
Okay.
if I'm Disney, okay, if I'm Disney,
I choose another tribe.
no, hold on.
Yeah, go.
The first time I hear somebody complain about the fact that they haven't removed the helmets, but they've removed them in Clone Wars and in Rebels,
Yeah.
I leak this story
Yeah.
pretending to be
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
on Reddit.
True.
That's what I do. Like that is 100% what I do, right? Just to cover my ass, because everybody and their grandmother was asking that question.
Oh,
right?
I was for sure.
So
Yeah, me too.
so if there was a budgetary motivation to take this step, so they could only use Pedro Pascal in the last episode and just have him for voiceover for the rest. They're not gonna tell us that right? Like it's not gonna come out. They're not gonna allow that to be like, yeah, it's not gonna become public knowledge. So they could easily get away with it if they really wanted to.
Mhm.
But I think Favreau wanted the feel of like actual like Boba Fett from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
He never takes off his helmet. You never really see who he is.
That's true. That's
so
very
I think
true.
he wanted to keep that essence.
That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah, he could have.
But then
Just-
Django was out
he-
of
he
his
takes it
helmet
off
the
all the
entire
time.
time.
Yeah.
he
it's
could have
weird.
just
Yeah.
not taken off the helmet, right? Like we didn't need to know a justification for Boba Fett never taking off his helmet.
No.
He just never did it, right?
Yeah.
So like the whole, it's
But
whatever.
then I guess people would have
I think-
asked him to do it at some point in the show
Yeah.
too.
Plus, Boba is one of the most overhyped characters
Yeah.
without no development in the
Mm.
world. Like he
He
is
just
definitely.
looked cool.
Great.
Yeah, he looked cool. He looked great. Okay, cool. So, all right. So let's go around the room. Give me 3 predictions for season 2.
Oh,
Saba.
Okay. Baby Yoda gets his name revealed,
Okay.
and that one I think I heard Tyga said they know his name.
Two
Okay.
people, yeah, John Favreau.
Yeah. Mando will remove his mask again, not right away, mid-season. I
Okay.
say mid-season, and we will meet maybe the rebels. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Which rebels?
The
The ones from the animated series?
I don't know,
Oh,
but someone from the side, like
someone from the rebellion.
someone from the rebellion in
okay,
general.
okay.
I feel like he'll come in contact with. That
Okay.
is not Cara Dune.
Okay. All right. Well, wait. There is no rebellion anymore. It's a new republic now.
It's a new republic
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
but I
okay.
feel like he'll have to run into that because I feel like right
Well,
now they're like in
there's
the
still the Empire,
Yeah.
like remnants of the Empire.
Yeah,
so
okay,
there's still
okay.
remnants of whatever.
Okay.
I mean, well, Cara Dune.
Yeah, I guess
Right.
okay. Well, I don't know. You put me on the spot with these three guesses. Third one is that he will go back to that little village and get married.
Okay.
He gets a dark saber.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck!
The Mandalorian does?
Yes, or yes,
Kinda
or
makes
or
sense.
or this isn't an end, or he gets his arm chopped off by it.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna lose a limb.
Yeah, he's gonna
Oh, he
lose a limb
could.
to it.
Okay.
That was just whatever. He gets his rocket finally.
Okay.
And I don't know. Razor Crest gets destroyed. No, I don't like that.
No. Baby Yoda goes through puberty.
Yeah, I'll end my shit there.
Okay. Matt?
What I think
These
and
are
I
serious
want to
predictions.
see is like maybe hopefully someone from the original trilogy, like a character.
Okay.
Like,
Ooh.
which like I've heard rumors someone might be around the corner coming into the story. Also, the species name of Yoda, like
Oh yeah.
George Lucas never
They've
wanted
been
to give
holding
that
on to
away.
that forever.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
do they have one or
Yeah.
they just messing with us?
I don't know, man.
Well, somebody
I
said
don't
like
know.
there is a name, but they never revealed it. I think it was
Yeah.
Taika that said it. Like the the species and him, they both have names.
Okay,
And,
one more.
But they don't.
I want a really cool space battle scene. I feel like they went really old school with it and like only had like a couple like action sequences in
Yeah.
space.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I feel like that needs to be utilized a little bit more.
You want
in the
something
next
more.
season.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh shit! Here's my last one.
What?
He does a gun twirl.
Oh, okay. Nice.
There you
Nice.
go.
We're definitely going to Coruscant at some at
okay.
some point because I think we need to get to like the Jedi archives
Mm.
to like find the planet where this species is
Oh,
from.
that
You
Level
think
13,
so?
13.
I think that's a good
Damn,
call.
Frank had time to think about this, I feel.
No, I didn't. I had no time. I never have any time. What are you talking about? I think we're going to. I think we may see an Inquisitor
That'd
at
be-
some point.
Yeah. It makes sense for the
Um,
timeline.
I think we may see an Inquisitor. And I also think that there's gonna be some sort of connection to Leia's family or something along those lines.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool.
Cara Dune might know Leia.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're from the same planet.
Yeah.
And she was a shock trooper.
That's why
Well,
I
that's
came
like
up with Leia.
you're from Canada, you know, Tim from
Yeah.
Canada.
But they're like, yeah, that's right.
I do know Tim
But
from
the fact that
Canada.
I bet
He
you, like,
owns a
Cara
coffee
Dune
shop.
must know who Leia is.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, it might not be the other way
She
around.
knows her by
Right.
reputation. Yeah,
she
for
is.
sure.
She is the princess.
She
Right?
definitely knows her by
Yeah.
reputation. Yeah, for sure.
And like,
Yeah.
if she was a soldier there, maybe she's royal guard or something.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, I think that's all she wrote. Thanks guys for joining us. We enjoyed reviewing this show this season. We had a lot of fun with it. Tell us if you want us to do another after show for season 2. We most likely will do it, but we'd love to know that there's some support behind it. So we can give you guys what you want too. Like, you know, do you want us to change the way we're breaking it down? Do you want us to potentially explore it in a different way, or
Yeah, like
whatever.
like every second episode, or
Yeah,
or like one for the whole thing,
Yeah.
2 for the whole thing,
yeah.
mid-season,
You know,
and
like provide us
finale.
some feedback. But we'll probably end up doing it one way or the other. We had a lot of fun. We may do another episode in the near future just to talk about predictions for season 2, I think. Once like the new cast will get revealed and there's all
Some
kinds of rumors and
Mhm.
we'll see what happens. But again, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna sign off. This has been Frank McGuire.
Saba Mir.
Chris Ibana.
Matt Fowler.
Peace.
Later, dudes.